Hi, this is Diane Crocker, and I'm at the Philly Stadium with our DDD tour. We're lucky to have here Alan Feldbaum, who's a principal at ERM. Hi, Alan.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. There were a couple things that came up during the panel that I wanted to just ask you to elaborate on. And
Sure.
The first is the whole concept of green building studies. You know, where do you see that headed? Is it a growth area for EPs, and what's really driving it?
Right. Well, I think the major issue for green buildings is you have two different drivers. Number one, you have LEEDs, which is helping to drive
Right.
green building certification around the country. I think that's going to be pretty important as our industry moves on. The other is,
Yep.
I think that there are two outside drivers that are going to be important. One is the price of energy, and so a
Sure.
green building is going to be more efficient, more profitable in some respects for building owners to maintain and operate.
Yep.
And number two, you're going to have carbon risks, which are going to be interesting for building owners to address. And I think, frankly, that's going to go to a marketability issue. So I do think that the green buildings and energy audits and those sorts of things are going to be more a wave coming in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, certainly worth EPs paying attention to.
Absolutely.
Sounds like.
Absolutely.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about was we talked about CERCLA and the AEI role.
Right.
You know, to what extent do you think on the deals that you work on does CERCLA, as you said, drive the bus in today's transactions, and how important is AEI?
I think very important. I think CERCLA, frankly, is very infrequently the major environmental risk that drives transactions. In fact, the question is whether environment matters to a transaction.
Yeah.
I would say if you're outside of the brownfields agenda, CERCLA probably doesn't affect. It's a very low probability risk.
Yeah.
There are lots of other risks that are far more important that are outside the CERCLA realm, which is also outside of AEI, which suggests that AEI may be a good commercial standard of practice for the industry to be using, but may not encompass all the risks.
Yeah.
So I'd look for a lot of out-of-scope issues that might actually be more costly to buyers of properties or buildings or companies.
Right. You mentioned that AEI is kind of the floor that they come in on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you move up from there. What are some of those other risks?
Well, I think one of the other is if you're buying an operating company, certainly you want to look at all the compliance elements of the company, air,
Right.
water discharges, those sorts of things.
Yep. Very good.
And I think the other issue is that the tension here is that stakeholders outside of the buyers, the lenders involved, will have AAI on their scopes as a part of their lending policy. And so there
Sure.
may be a tension that you need to discuss with your clients.
Yeah, that's certainly a driver now,
Right.
especially when you haven't mentioned in the FDIC policy, which a lot of banks are looking to when
Exactly.
they update their own. Very good. All right, thanks, Alan. Thanks for
Okay,
being here.
thank
We
you.
appreciate it.